After narrating the Wild West in the form of the problems of past game heroes, Red Dead Redemption 3 deserves a protagonist who is not doomed. Both Red Dead Redemption titles tell the story of a member of the Dutch Van der Linde, a group that has distanced itself from its golden age. Arthur Morgans was in place at the time of the group's collapse, and John Marston hunts down survivors of the gang. Both of these hero outlaws are at an ominous end, and that sense of uniform uselessness that we experienced in Red Dead Redemption 2's long gameplay should not be repeated in the next impression of the series. Despite some beautiful moments and a good mood that we experienced in Red Dead Redemption 2, the title narrated only a small part of the story and the Dutch family. John and Arthur were members of the group when there was a purpose behind it, a group of socially conscious robbers who returned wealth to those whose hands were short of resources and opportunities. In both games, this golden era is repeatedly mentioned, but players were never able to see the group before their aspirations were destroyed. The story of the series only shows men who devoted their lives to a failed purpose and now cannot escape the weight of their sins. The notion of an outlaw lifestyle, which was part of the Old West before the expansion of the modern social structure in America, certainly appeals to many. Violent and true stories like Red Dead Redemption focus on the unpleasant consequences of a violent life, and in the final sections of Red Dead Redemption 2, we are evoked by John's death, which, precisely in the previous chapter of the story, saw Arthur's tragedy end at the culmination of this narrative. However, both games essentially follow the same theme, and the disintegration of this group of criminals and the deaths of its members is like showing a driving accident from different angles. While, according to many, Red Dead Redemption 2's thematic approach was useless, if the theme of the third game went the same way, it would be like doing something absurd. The series has already proved that Armani bandits and outlaws are just an illusion, and that the era of pistols has ended with the advancement of modern civilization. It's time to see something fresh in the Red Dead Redemption series. Otherwise, Red Dead Redemption 3 is just an excuse for players to immerse themselves in the world of gaming details. It will be an indulgence to once again depend on the wrong but real champions and, in the end, hold the grief. Red Dead Redemption 2 pays homage to Western films, including Italian cowboy films, and today's new titles such as Django Unchained and The Wild Bunch have had the greatest impact on both of the franchises. The film had used the same theme, about an outlaw who is working hard to survive in a changing world. It's very different to see a film where protagonists go to their bloody end until after nearly 70 hours of content. You experience this feeling during two games about redemption. Walking in a new direction can benefit the series. The third game could even go back and finally see the period when Dutch warrior was on the way to justice. The decision could lead to a change in tone of play, but given the fate of the band members at the end, it cannot be a relief to the problem of doomed heroes. Although Red Dead Redemption 3 has the ability to improve the mechanisms of the open world, it is hard to distance itself from previous ideas to meaningfully connect its story to the past works of the series. It is hard to imagine that Jack Marston, the son of John and Abigail, who killed government officials to avenge the death of his parents, has a brighter future than his father. A title from Red Dead Redemption, which means the hero's redemption of the story is something beyond being killed, has the potential. Taking time forward under Jack can be a good choice if he allows him to step beyond life in the style of the Gunners and achieve inner peace and tranquility. The focus of the story on a just law enforcement will also contradict the previously grounded atmosphere, given their ruthless portrayal in previous versions. Whether it's a sequel to RDR2 or a prelude to it, Red Dead Redemption 3 should be about more than the story of a bewildered burglar whose redemption is summed up in the infinite cemetery of the Wild West dead.